Hey guys, this is Zach from Say What Zach here, doing the review for Saturday, November 30th. All the games. It was a fun night overall. If you watched my Instagram page, you saw that we first of all changed to Say What Zach now instead of what I had it before. And we did a little challenge, me and Kitty commentary. So it was a fun little thing to do for my birthday. As you can see, I got the birthday badge from one of my friends. So got me a nice little birthday card and got me a little happy birthday note. Anyways. Games tonight. There was a lot of them. I watched as much as I could while interacting with people and driving and doing all the stuff I need to do for day for my birthday. So, first game was Philly taking on Montreal Canadiens. That one was a 3 o'clock start time. I watched most of this one at the gym because I need to get the gym in today before the party and all that fun stuff. So anyways, took somewhat decent notes. There's a lot of my pen ran out as soon as I got on the treadmill, and I had to go to a marker. It was a whole thing. Anyways, first off, I noticed that the Habs were kind of pinning the Philadelphia Flyers into their zone a lot. The Montreal Canadiens were definitely the better team the first half of this game. Konechny hit Suzuki 17 minutes into the game, so that was a big hit. Suzuki didn't like it, and they took a little offense to that one. Joel Armia, should be the first thing, scored 19 seconds in. That was his fastest goal of his career, 19 seconds into a game. So Joel Armia, he had a really good game actually, Joel Armia. Montreal on a whole played decent. They just, unfortunately, their fate wasn't shown on the score. Matt Niskanen was playing after his 15 stitches and a swollen mouth, where he got from the Red Wings last night. So the night before he got, I believe it was hit in the face of the puck, so he had like nose things in his nose, all blood all over his face. He kept telling everybody, oh, it's not as bad as it looks. Then he had the cage on with 15 stitches. It's like, ooh, champion right there. It shows true grit right there. I like that. And then also, obviously the quick strike by the Habs. Sorry. Again, this is where it transfers from pen to marker. So it was also walking. So I was trying to learn how to write and walk at the same time. And the refs were letting the teams play a lot too. There was a lot of roughing and hitting and not a lot of calls. It was actually really nice to see some roughhousing going on. That was the first. Second period. Again, Joel Armia looks awesome in this game. He looked really good. Hopefully, he keeps us going. The Montreal Canadiens respond less than 30 seconds after the Flyers tied it. So it was 1-0. The Flyers tie it, and then Tatar ties it within, I think, 30 seconds of them tying it. Hey guys, hey, calm it down. So the cats are roughhousing over here in the corner. Anyways, the Montreal Canadiens, they responded right as soon as the Flyers tied it, so they took up 2-1 lead. And the Flyers responded 30 seconds after that to tie it back up to a 2-2 game. So it was just a ton of scoring within like a minute of each other. It was like, oh wow, every time I'd take a note, set the book down on the treadmill, and goal, okay, pull that back out, let me write that one down, and set the book, oh, another one, okay. There was a lot of that going on. And it was 100, Kevin Hayes hit 100 career goals tonight, so that was, congratulations to Kevin Hayes, he got that one in. Max Domi got 2 minutes for roughing at 10 minutes into this period. They killed that off, so good for the Montreal Canadiens. They killed off the Flyers power play. Victor Mete was not on the Montreal Canadiens bench, so he was out for the rest of the game. I didn't quite catch why he was out, but yeah, Victor Mete might be out for, I don't know if it was just for the game or extended period of time. I didn't catch what the injury was, but yeah, he's going to be out. He didn't return in the third. And sorry, still burping up my spicy burger I had today. And I love Keith Kincaid's mask. They showed it today a little bit more in depth, and it is awesome. It was a beautiful design. So it has the mascot for the Montreal Canadiens on the one side wearing like a construction hat and a whole bunch of like construction like cones all over it. Because I guess there's a lot of construction going on in Montreal right now, so he was like paying homage to like crappy construction and driving in Montreal right now, which I thought was a really funny thing to do. But one of my favorite goaltender masks. As you can tell, I like goalies. I like their masks. That was one of my favorite things. So it was really funny to watch them do that. There was a turnover 18 minutes into the game, so almost towards the end of the period. That Keith Kincaid stops Hayes, so it was like a really bad turnover. Kevin Hayes got it right in front of that, turned tight and shot, and Keith Kincaid gloved out. It was awesome. It was just like, wow, that was a beautiful save. So I want to make a note of that. And there was a late power play for the Montreal Canadiens, 18.5 minutes in. Philly kills it. No big deal there. Third period. I don't know, it kind of slowed up a little bit in the third. There wasn't a whole lot. Plus, I was driving from the gym back to the house, being get ready for the party, whole thing. And I had to still film the preview video before this. It was a whole thing. But yeah, the Montreal Canadiens were not letting Philly have any lead. So every time Philly got a lead or tried to have a lead, Montreal snuffed it out almost instantaneously. Because I remember in the third, I believe Philly scored relatively quickly into the third to take a lead, and Montreal scored to take it right back. It was just like, what? Philly could not lock this down. It was amazing. And then, yeah, Montreal was really close to winning it in regulation. They were pushing really hard at the end of it. Tried really, just couldn't get it to go in regulation, which take us to overtime. And overtime wasn't much to write down because Ivan Provorov finished it 30 seconds into the overtime. So 30 seconds in, we were done. So that's all it took. He's like, no, 60 minutes, that's not enough time. 60 minutes and 30 seconds, that's what we need. So that would be your final. 4-3 for Philadelphia. So Philadelphia moves to 15-7-5. Montreal now drops to 11. Sorry, that should be 10 up here. 11-10 in 6, I believe. I believe that's right. I could be wrong. It could be still 11-9-6. I can't remember if I changed that one. I know I changed Phillies. I can't remember if I changed Montreal's. But more or less, Montreal's been dropping. They're close to being only a 500 club, so they need to do something. Your scoring plays: Joel Amia from Victor Mete, 19 seconds into the first period. You got Oscar Lindbaum from Braun and Voracek at 7:47 of the second period to tie it. Tom Tatar from Weber and Deneau, 8:14 into the second, so that was the first one where they scored, and they scored right back. And then Kevin Hayes from Farabee. I like Farabee. I'm going to be probably putting up here and watching him a lot more. He's playing really good. 8:59 of the second. So again, 40-something seconds later, Philly ties it. It was just like a lot of that back and forth. Thomas Konechny from Drew and Raffle, from 1:34 into the third period. And then you got Tom Tatar tying it up from Suzuki and Petrie at 3:16 of the third period. So again, it was like within a couple minutes, Montreal tied it back up. And then Ivan Provorov from Sean Couturier, which, yes, because I have him on my fantasy team, 31 seconds into overtime. So that was your scoring plays, your goal scorers. Shots on goal, 29 for Philly to 42 for Montreal. And again, yep, that would be Philly's overtime victory. The second game of the night, which is why I'm wearing all caps, which if you watch the preview video, you would know that's who I picked to win this game, and it'd be crazy not to. Red Wings are not doing very good right now. So you got the Capitals 5-2 was the final. You got Capitals now at 19-4-5, and the Red Wings are 7-19-3. I remember the Red Wings were over 500 club. Now they are way under 500 club. Yeah. I didn't take notes on this because again I was communicating primarily. Kitty Commentary took some of these notes, so I still haven't really read through all of them. I noticed it wasn't very fast-paced. It was a little bit of a back and forth. If you watched our Instagram, I did a story about I would do a shot for every goal the Red Wings got. Because I was pretty confident they wanted me to drink. So I was like, okay, here's the deal we're going to make. Every goal, I'll get a shot. Because I was like, it's the Red Wings, they don't score. And then my Kitty Commentary decided to say, hey, if they get a power play goal, you get 2 shots. And I was like, yeah, whatever. They're not going to score the power play. It's the Red Wings. First goal of the night, the Red Wings was on the power play, of course. So 2 shots with that on top of the beers I was drinking. So yeah, it was a little bit of drinking. After that point, I was like, okay, I need to slow down, eat some food. But yeah, it was a good night. So the Red Wings scored on the power play, the breakthrough, and actually made this a relatively close game until the third period. Like, it was relatively back and forth, really close game. Red Wings surprisingly kept it relatively close, but just at the end of it, the Capitals are the Capitals and Red Wings are the Red Wings, and pretty much turned out to be exactly what we expected. The Capitals annihilating the Red Wings. There was 2 empty net goals to make this a lot further apart than it actually looks. So before the 2 empty netters from Ovechkin, which he got his hat trick, so congratulations. So getting that much closer to that Wayne Gretzky record, right? But yeah, it was 3-2 before he got those 2 empty netters to make it 5-2. So it was a lot closer than I thought it should have been for the Capitals over the Red Wings. I'm just kind of glancing over the notes real quick. The Capitals almost doubled the shots with the Red Wings. Philip Hronek got an interference call. There's a couple of things going on here. yeah, decent amount of penalties. There wasn't, but again, there wasn't a whole lot of goal scoring in this game until the third period. Pretty much is where a lot of it happened, and then 2 empty netters. But yeah, the Capitals did a good job with. Sorry, good commentary is giving me a weird look.
How many hat tricks has Ovechkin had in his career?
How many hat tricks has Ovechkin had? Apparently, she wrote this in. Give me a second. Let me look.
It's next to the hat.
Oh, here we go. His 25th career hat trick. So there you go. Kitty commentary drawing a hat next to the hat trick note down here.
Congrats, Ovechkin.
That's Kitty commentary saying congratulations to Ovechkin for his 25th career hat trick, which again came at the expense of the horrible Red Wings. But yeah, so that was pretty much, again, the rundown of it was again just back and forth, really close game considering the Red Wings are who they are, and then the Capitals got their 2 empty net goals to finish it off. Anyways, scoring plays, got Robbie Fabry, which I was sitting there, I was like, of course, Robbie Fabry would be the one who gets the power play freaking goal to make me have to hit shots. Anyways, he got a goal from Larkin and Zadina, so Zadina also gets his first point, I believe, as a Red Wing. I believe it's his first point as a Red Wing. First point since it's been called up this time around for sure. And 11:47 the first. So like, okay, interesting. So they go into the Red Wings go into the first intermission with a 1-0 lead over the Capitals. So you're like, oh wow, okay, that's not what I expected, but okay. TJ Oshie comes out in the second and says, okay, let's put an end to that. He gets a goal from Verna and Kuznetsov at 2:19, which again, Kuznetsov, yes. A lot of my players got some good points tonight, which is nice for my fantasy teams. He gets at 2:19 of the second period. Then Ovechkin scores from Carlson and Kuznetsov at 9:21 of the second period. And then Wilson in the third period gets a goal from Ovechkin and Kuznetsov. So Kuznetsov, 3 assists already at this point now. Ovechkin with a goal and an assist at this point. And that goal from Wilson came at 14:23 of the third period. And then Glendening got a goal from Bertuzzi and Green at 14:32 of the third period. So we got another shot. It's 4 minutes or 5 minutes away from being done, having to take shots, and Glendening had to get one. Good on him and good for Bertuzzi, but darn it, that extra shot. But Ovechkin would then score an empty netter from Oshie and Gudas at 18:25 of the third period, and he would net his hat trick at 19:05 of the third period. So, yeah, that's your scoring plays. Shots on goal. You got 34 for the Capitals, 27 for the Red Wings. So, yeah, the Capitals just pretty much dominated in most of the spots, just like we thought. That's what happens when you're playing against a team that has bottom tier stats all the way through. If you saw the preview, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, going to the rest of the games of the night. I noticed with the Devils and Rangers, I got to watch some of this game when I was on the treadmill. Devils shut out again, so they're having problems scoring still. Their goaltending's giving up goals. They need to figure out something. This team, again, was expected to be a lot better. I thought they'd make the playoffs. I thought they had a good team. They were going to lock it down. But no, this team, there's something wrong, and they need to fix it fast, because they are already pretty much looking like they're going to miss the playoffs again. Because, again, the American Thanksgiving mark is usually a good indication of who's going to be in the playoffs and who's not. And here's the standings. You can kind of see no New Jersey in sight. So, yeah, that's something I noticed. And then, so that was a 4-0 win for the Rangers, which is good for the Rangers. They're fighting to keep it relevant right now. You got Toronto taking on Buffalo. They won 2-1 in overtime, so a good game for Toronto to come back and win. And look at who's in the playoff spot again. Anyways, so they won the they lost 1-1 for the home and home for that round. Carolina beats Tampa Bay 3-2. You got the Florida Panthers. A lot of shutouts tonight. I noticed that too. So the Florida Panthers got shut out the Nashville Predators 3-0. And the Panthers goalie, he got his first career NHL win and obviously first career shutout. I'm blanking on his name off the top. I think it's like Wagner. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. It's somewhere. I have to double check. But yeah, I know it was his first career win and stuff like that. So good on him. Congratulations. It's always nice to see a rookie goalie get a win. Islanders shut out the Columbus Blue Jackets 2-0. So Islanders get back to a win finally after a couple of losses over in California. They want to forget that road trip to California. The Calgary Flames won 3-1 against Ottawa. St. Louis takes on the Pittsburgh Penguins and beat them 5-2. 5-2. And then the Sharks go in and beat Arizona 4-2, which sucked. But San Jose got themselves into a playoff spot again. So good job for that. It's kind of interesting to see that San Jose's been fighting back that well. I really thought that that rough start was going to be the end of them, but they're showing, no, we can still do this. The Avalanche annihilated Chicago 7-3. I watched some of that, and yeah, it's just, they annihilated them. Patrick Kane got a goal, so he's had like a 3-game goal-scoring streak, but yeah, that didn't matter. LA came in and Winnipeg went into LA and lost 2-1. So LA wins again at home. They're a better team at home than away for sure. Then Vancouver annihilates the Oilers 5-2. And then Tanner Pearson gets his first career 4-point game. So congratulations to Tanner Pearson. Some depth scoring for Vancouver, finally showing through. And they eke into another playoff spot as well, I believe. The app hasn't completely updated, but I believe because they've played less games than Vegas, they should be into a playoff spot now. But that may be a little off, but I believe that's how it should be. So these should be the proper standings. So those are your games, your scores, finals for Saturday, November 30th. Let's jump down here to the standings now. So you still got Edmonton at 35, first place in Pacific, 34 for Coyotes now, only 1 point behind them to take the lead in Pacific, which is amazing. But Oilers do play Vancouver again tomorrow, so we'll see. San Jose, third place in the Pacific now with 31 points. St. Louis stayed at the top of the Central with 40. Colorado, second place with 34. Winnipeg, 33 points, so they dropped from second to third, but still there. The wild cards, you got Dallas with 32, so nipping at the heels of both Colorado and Winnipeg. And then your second wild card in the West is the Vancouver Canucks now with 30, but they are tied with Vegas and Calgary, I believe, with 30 points each. They just have less games played. Sorry. So Whoppers, he's a very loud screamer when he's playing. He's not getting hurt. He's very loud when he's playing. So if you guys are hearing the screeching of cats dying, that's just Whoppers playing and with his brother's shenanigans. Just so you guys know, that's what the screeching is. Anyways, going over to the East. Capitals win, so they're up to 43 points down the top of the Metro. The Islanders win, so they're going to go up to 36 points, second in the Metro. Philly, 35 points, 1 point behind New York Islanders for their third place in the Metropolitan. So, yay Flyers, look at them go. In the Atlantic, you got 41 points for Boston, who didn't play today. 31 points for Florida because they beat Nashville handily. Toronto, 30 points, third place in the Atlantic. Let's see how far this goes. And then your wild cards, you got Carolina moves up to 33 points, first place in the first wild card, and then Pittsburgh at 32 points because they lost to St. Louis. So Pittsburgh is your second wild card in the East. So they're your updated standings, your scores for the night, and that's for Saturday, November 30th. Hope you guys enjoyed all the content and videos we put out tonight. I had a good night. Hoping to watch some more hockey tomorrow and keep this train rolling. Thank you to everyone who subscribed to the channel. Appreciate it. November is over, so we're gonna have a new little picture up here eventually, probably in the next video. We'll see. But again, thank you guys for subscribing and liking the video, giving us a again a thumbs up, and commenting on what your favorite game was for the night. And did your team win? Did they lose? Again, the Red Wings lost. It's nothing new for us, but hey, my pick was right. Capitals. But yeah. Anyways, this is Zach from Say What Zach here, saying thank you again for watching, and we will talk to you guys again soon.